91, I came to Canada, and I had this business, financial services, and in that I spoke to a lot of people, right? For 2 years, nothing. And one day I went to this camp. One of my friends took me to this camp. I didn't know what kind of camp it was. He told me there are a lot of girls, so I went. It was apparently a Christian camp, so I didn't know about it, and I was very upset with him. There was no booze, no smokes, nothing, and he was kind of pacifying me. And sounds, don't focus on that. Focus. We're going to chat to the girls and whatever. And anyway, we got playing cards. We needed 4 to play, and we had those 4 people. And one of the person was a lady, and she wanted to leave. It was a Sunday. By 4 o'clock, I said, "Why are you leaving? It's a holiday. Are you working?" She says, "No, I'm going to church." I said, "No, forget about church. We have a game to finish." And she was adamant she's going, So I put more pressure, and I realized she's not gonna stop, right? She's gonna go and mess our game up now. So I started harassing her, basically. And I really gave her a hard time. She started trying to defend her faith, and I destroyed her arguments and ridiculed her and really, really messed her up. And finally, she told me one of her ways of trying to tell me that proof of God is she said, read the Bible. I said, hey, listen, I read the gospel when I was up to grade 10. I finished my grade 10 exam, religious knowledge. I passed the exam, and I became atheist. And she was so shocked. She couldn't speak. She was like, what? And then she shook her head and she said, you know what? Why don't you ask God? And she just walked away. So I was very happy. Again, I got another victim demolished. So I went home, and that night I tried to sleep and I couldn't sleep. This 5 words she spoke, why don't you ask God? And she walked away. God pretty much used it to completely stop me from sleeping. Right in my innermost being, like in my soul, my spirit, it was just resonating. Why don't you ask God? I'm like, who is this? It's like I know someone is speaking, but I can't hear any voices. But the question is more powerful than if you had spoken to me. If all of you had spoken to me, it didn't matter. I said, okay, God, if you're God, you prove to me that you're God. And you have to prove to me, to my intellect, you made me with the ability to understand, reason, you have ability to communicate. And if you're God and you can't communicate as well as a human being, what's the point? I don't care if you're God. Someone was grabbing a hold of me and telling me basically to ask this question. And then I asked that question, and I put a lot of conditions. And after I asked the question, I fell asleep. And I didn't remember anything about it until every person I went and spoke in client appointments that I set, every one of them gave me a testimony about what Jesus did, how miracles happened, and how God healed them or did something in their life. I'm like, this is crazy. 2 years I've been in the business. I talked to so many people. Not once anyone said anything. After I challenged God, 5 people in a row. I was like, someone is setting me up. But the weird thing is, I'm the one who set the appointment. So it was like crazy. I knew something is going on. I didn't want to accept it. Yeah, I had invested like almost 20 years of my life as an atheist and taken that hardcore position, right? I'm like not going to give this up easily. One day I was watching, I was flipping channels on the TV, and this came to this James Robison. The guy was showing a feeding thing, no preaching. This guy just said, if you know you're a sinner, if you have you confess and you pray this prayer. And I pray right there alone on my knees right in front of the TV. I know I was changed that day. At that moment, I know from darkness to light, it does absolute. Oh my God, that has been the most amazing journey for me.